Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bookzo English, where English becomes exciting. Today, you're not just watching a video, you're stepping into a new reality. If you listen carefully, this could be the moment that changes your life forever. I'm here to tell you something that no one else will tell you. Something that could ignite a fire in your soul. Let me ask you a question. Are you happy with your life right now? If you died tomorrow, would you be proud of what you've done? If your answer is no, then listen closely, because this story is about Avenel, a boy just like you, a boy who used to feel lost, a boy who felt like every day was the same. He would wake up, check his phone, scroll through videos, eat breakfast, and do nothing meaningful. He would say, "I'll change tomorrow," but tomorrow never came. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and one day, Avenel looked in the mirror and said, "I don't like this life." He saw tired eyes, a weak body, a sad face. He wanted more. He wanted to feel strong, proud, and happy. But he didn't know where to start. One evening, while sitting on the floor, he heard his little sister say, "You used to smile more." That simple sentence hit him hard. He realized something had changed. He had stopped dreaming. He had stopped trying. He had stopped living. That night, he couldn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling. He thought about his life. He thought about the people he loved. He thought about how he wasted time. And then, at 7 a.m., he stood up. He went to the mirror again. He said, "Enough is enough. I will change. Starting now." It wasn't a loud promise. It wasn't a big moment. It was small, quiet, but it was real. That's how change begins, not with noise, but with a whisper in your heart. Avenel started small. The next morning, he woke up early. He made his bed. He drank a glass of water. He walked outside and felt the morning air. It was fresh. It was new. It felt like a new chance. He told himself, "Today is a gift. I will not waste it." He wrote down 3 things he was grateful for. He smiled. That was day 1. Was it easy? No. Did he feel strong? Not really. But he felt something else, hope. And hope is powerful. It's the start of everything. Avenel didn't become successful in one day. He didn't change overnight. But he kept going. Every day, he tried to be a little better. He read 1 page of a book. He learned 1 new word in English. He helped his mother in the kitchen. He said, "Thank you" more. He listened more, and slowly, the old Avenel started to fade away. A new Avenel was being born. Avenel who cared. Avenel who believed. Avenel who showed up even when no one clapped. He started to work out at home, push-ups, squats, running in place. He didn't go to the gym. He didn't need fancy things. He just needed heart. And every time he felt tired, he remembered why he started. He remembered his sister's words. He remembered the mirror. He remembered that every day is a new chance. Even when he failed, he didn't stop. He just stood up and tried again. That's the secret. Not perfection, but action. Every time you try, you grow. Every time you show up, you win. Avenel also started learning online. Free videos, simple courses. He wrote notes. He practiced English. He spoke in front of the mirror. At first, he felt shy. He made mistakes, but he kept going. He told himself, mistakes are proof that I'm trying. His English got better. His confidence grew. He began to dream again. He started setting goals, small ones, like waking up early for chi days, like reading a book in sure days, like calling his grandparents just to say hello. These small goals changed his life. They made him proud. They made him feel alive. His parents noticed. His friends noticed. But most importantly, he noticed. He became someone he liked. Not perfect, but real. Avenel also started helping others. He told his friends, "You can change too." Some laughed, some listened, but Avenel didn't stop. He shared what he learned. He shared his story because he knew the truth. If he could change, anyone could. He met people online who were also learning. He joined groups. He made friends from other countries. He spoke English with them. Slowly, he built a new world, a world full of growth, a world full of purpose. Not every day was easy. Some days were hard. Some days he felt lazy. Some days he wanted to quit. But he remembered his promise. He remembered his reason. And that reason kept him going. One day, someone messaged him and said, "You inspired me to start learning again." Avenel cried, not because he was sad, but because he finally saw it. His small changes made a big difference, not just for him, but for others. And that is the beauty of life. When you grow, you help others grow. When you change, you inspire change. Avenel's story is not about big success. It's about daily choices. It's about one more push-up, one more English word, one more kind word, one more step forward. That's how you win. That's how you change. Not in one day, but every day. Because every day is a chance to change your life. Avenel started waking up before sunrise. He would sit in silence, no phone, no music, just silence. He would breathe deeply and say to himself, "I am ready for this day." He learned the power of the morning. It gave him peace. It gave him control. He didn't rush anymore. He didn't panic. He had time. He had purpose. After his quiet time, he would plan his day. Not too much. Just 3 things. 3 small but important tasks. It could be learning 10 new English words. It could be reading 2 pages. It could be helping his sister with her homework. These 3 things made him feel strong. He stopped wasting time on useless things. He deleted apps that made him lazy. He stopped watching things that made him feel empty. He stopped following people who made him feel small. Instead, he followed people who made him feel hope. He followed teachers. He followed learners. He followed people who never gave up. He created his own world, a world where every minute had meaning, a world where every hour had heart. Some people asked him, "Why are you working so hard?" Avenel smiled and said, "Because I finally believe in myself." He didn't need everyone to understand. He didn't need approval. He just needed progress. And that's what he focused on. Progress, not perfection. He started journaling every night, just a few lines. What he did, what he learned, how he felt. It helped him understand himself. It helped him grow. He began to see patterns. He saw how certain habits made him tired. He saw how good choices gave him energy. He saw how words had power. Positive words made him strong. Negative words made him slow. So he chose positive words. He said things like, "I can, I will, I'm learning, and I'm proud." These words became his fuel. These words became his fire. Avenel also started helping his father with work. Small things. Carrying tools. Cleaning the space. Asking questions. His father smiled more. They talked more. They became closer. His father said, "I'm proud of you, son." Those words meant everything. Avenel felt like a man. He felt responsible. He felt ready. He knew life was not easy, but he also knew life was full of chances. Every new sunrise was a gift. Every breath was a blessing. Every moment was a choice. And he started choosing better. He stopped blaming others. He stopped blaming his past. He forgave people who hurt him. He forgave himself for wasting time. And that forgiveness gave him peace. One afternoon, he saw a boy sitting alone. The boy looked sad. Avenel walked over and sat beside him. He said, "Are you okay?" The boy said, "I feel lost." Avenel smiled gently. He said, "I used to feel that way too." Then he told his story. The boy listened. His eyes grew wide. His face softened. He said, "Thank you." Avenel realized something that day. His pain had a purpose. His struggle became a light that could help others, a light that could guide. He knew now his life was not just about him. It was about everyone he could help, and that made him stronger. He started teaching his younger cousin English. Just a few words each day, simple sentences, fun games, songs, stories. The cousin laughed. He learned fast. He looked up to Avenel. He said, "I want to be like you." Avenel smiled, but felt humble. He said, "Just be the best you." Yeah. That became his new message. Be the best you. Not the richest. Not the most famous. Just the best version of yourself. Honest, kind, focused, growing every day. That's success. That's greatness. Avenel knew he was still far from his dream. He knew there was so much more to do. But he was not afraid. He was not rushing. He was building. brick by brick, step by step, day by day. He used to fear the future. Now he was excited for it. He used to live in regret. Now he lived in hope because he finally understood one thing. He had the power to start again, the power to choose better, the power to create a new life. No one could stop him but himself. And he was done stopping. He was ready to fly. He wrote on his wall with a marker, "Every day is a chance to change your life." It was the first thing he saw every morning. And every time he read it, he smiled. Because it was true. He was living proof. The boy who used to waste his days was now a boy with vision. A boy with fire. A boy with purpose. And all it took was one decision, one moment, one promise to himself. That's all. And if Avenil could do it, you can too. Avenil began to see change everywhere. Not just outside, but inside. He no longer felt lazy. He no longer felt weak. He felt alive. He felt awake. He noticed the little things, the sound of birds in the morning, the feel of the wind on his face, the smile of his neighbor, the taste of a warm cup of tea. These small things filled his heart with peace. He used to think happiness came from big things. Now he knew the truth. Joy lives in small things. Avenil learned to say thank you more. Thank you to his mother for cooking. Thank you to the sun for rising. Thank you to his body for walking, running, moving. Thank you to time for giving him another chance. He started smiling at strangers, helping old people cross the road, giving his seat to others, not because he had to, but because it felt right, it felt good. Kindness became his habit, and kindness came back to him. People started liking Avenel, not for what he had, but for who he was. They saw his energy, his honesty, his effort, and they respected him. Even teachers noticed. One teacher said, "You have changed. Keep going." That sentence stayed in his heart. It gave him strength. It gave him fuel. Avenel knew there was still a long way to go. He didn't have all the answers. He still made mistakes. He still had bad days. But now he didn't quit. He didn't run. He faced his fears. He said, "This too shall pass." He understood life is not a straight line. Sometimes you go forward. Sometimes you fall back. But the most important thing is this: never stop. Just get up and keep moving. Keep learning. Keep growing. Avenil began saving money. Not a lot. Just a little every week. He stopped buying junk food. He stopped wasting money on useless things. He started reading about money, about saving, about working smart. He wanted to help his parents. He wanted to stand on his own feet. That was his dream, not to show off, but to give back. One day, he bought a book with his saved money. It was a simple book about dreams and action. He read it every night. Underlined lines he loved. One line changed him forever. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. That sentence shook him. It was so true. He had wasted many yesterdays, but not today. Never again. From that moment, he made a rule. Every day must count, even if he only learned one word, even if he only helped one person, even if he only smiled one extra time. It must count. That was his promise. He also started walking every evening. Sometimes with music, sometimes with silence. He watched the sunset. He watched kids playing. He watched people laughing. It made him feel part of something. It reminded him that life is not just about goals. It's also about being present, about feeling, about living. On those walks, he often talked to himself. He would say, "I'm proud of you, Avenil. You're doing your best. Keep going." These small talks helped him stay strong. He didn't wait for others to cheer him. He became his own cheerleader. And that changed everything. He didn't care if people laughed. He didn't care if people judged. He was focused. He was building something beautiful. His life, day by day, thought by thought, habit by habit. He also started praying more, not big prayers, just short, honest words. Thank you. Guide me. Help me stay strong. These words gave him peace. He didn't feel alone anymore. He felt supported. He felt guided. He felt watched over. One evening, his younger sister came to him. She said, "I want to be like you when I grow up." Avenil felt tears in his eyes. He hugged her. He said, "Just be the best version of you, better than me." And that night, he cried a little, not out of sadness, but out of gratitude, because he finally felt something deep, purpose. He was not just changing himself, he was changing lives. He was leading by example, and that is the highest form of leadership: quiet, gentle, real. Avenel then made a vision board. He cut out pictures from magazines: a small house, a happy family, books, a passport, a laptop, a strong body, a smiling face. He pasted them on a cardboard sheet. He hung it near his bed. Every morning and every night, he looked at it. He said, "One day, I'll live this life." Not because it's easy, but because it's possible. That vision gave him direction. That direction gave him power. Avenil had once been afraid of the future. Now he was building it with his own hands. He became a student of life. Every person became a teacher. Every failure became a lesson. Every morning became a new beginning, and every night became a time for reflection. He was not perfect, but he was real. He was not the best, but he was trying. He was not the fastest, but he was moving. And that's all that matters, because every day is a chance to change your life. And Avenil was proving it, one small step at a time. One cold morning, Avenil woke up before the sun. He sat on his bed and looked outside. The sky was dark. The air was quiet. The world was still sleeping. But inside Avenel, there was a fire. A small fire that kept growing. He stood up, stretched his arms, and smiled. He whispered, "Let's do it again." He opened his notebook and wrote down his plan for the day. Just 3 tasks. Just 3 simple steps forward. That's all. That's how he was changing his life. One day, one choice, one habit at a time. He didn't wait for motivation. He didn't wait for the perfect day. He acted. Even on hard days. Even on slow days. Even on days when he felt tired. He kept going. That's what made him different now. Avenel started learning new things every week. He watched free videos. He listened to simple English podcasts. He read articles about growth, about learning, about change. He used a small dictionary to learn 5 new English words every night. He would write the word, say the word, use it in a sentence, and smile. He said, "Every word I learn is a brick. I'm building my future." He also learned from people around him. He watched how kind people spoke. He watched how strong people walked. He watched how patient people listened. And he copied those good habits. Slowly, they became his own. He stopped judging others. He stopped gossiping. He stopped complaining. Instead, he practiced being better. Not better than others, just better than yesterday. One of his favorite habits was reflection. Every night, he sat alone for 5 minutes. No sound, no phone, just him and his thoughts. He asked himself, "What did I learn today? What did I do well? What can I do better tomorrow?" This small habit made him smarter. It made him aware. It made him feel in control. Avenel also began to care for his health. He drank more water. He ate more fruits. He stopped drinking soda. He went to sleep earlier. He stopped using his phone before bed. His mind became clearer. His body felt stronger. His energy grew. He felt fresh in the morning. He felt calm at night. And most of all, he felt proud. Because he knew he was showing up for himself. One afternoon, his uncle visited. The uncle looked at Avenel and said, "You've grown." Avenel smiled and said, "I've changed." His uncle nodded. He said, "I can see that. Keep going." Words like that gave Avenel fuel. He didn't need a big audience. One kind word was enough. One good sign was enough. He believed in small things, because small things bring big change. He started writing short stories, simple stories, stories of growth, stories of courage, stories of learning. He posted them online. At first, no one read them, but he didn't stop. He wrote because he loved it. Slowly, people started noticing. One person sent him a message. "Your story gave me hope." "Thank you." That message made him cry. Again, not from sadness, but from deep joy. He was doing it. He was becoming a light for others, just like he once needed. Avenel didn't forget where he started. He often told himself, "Don't forget the old you, the one who felt lost, the one who needed help." the one who started this journey. That memory kept him humble. That memory kept him kind. He began to save for a new goal, a second-hand laptop, so he could learn faster, so he could write better, so he could grow more. Every week, he saved a little. He cut his own hair. He ate simple meals. He walked instead of taking the bus. He didn't see it as a sacrifice. He saw it as investment. And one day, after months of saving, he bought it, a small, used laptop. But to him, it was gold. He opened it and cried. He whispered, "This is the tool for my dreams." He used it every day, not for games, not for fun, but for growth, for learning, for creating. That laptop became his best friend. One evening, he wrote a letter to himself. He wrote, "Dear Avenel, I am proud of you. You didn't give up. You started with nothing. But you made something beautiful. You made a life with meaning. Keep going. The world is waiting." He folded the letter and kept it in a box where he kept special things, his first notebook, his first story, his old goals, his favorite quote. These things reminded him, every day is a new chance. One day, he was walking through the market. He saw a boy trying to sell pencils. The boy was barefoot. His clothes were torn. Avenel looked at him and felt pain. He walked over and said, "Hey, what's your name?" The boy said, "Avin." Avenel smiled. He said, "You're strong, Avin. Keep going." He bought 3 pencils and gave double the money. Then he knelt down and said, "Every day you can grow. One day you will be great." Avin smiled. That moment stayed with Avenel. It reminded him that success is not just what you achieve. It's how you help others rise, too. Avenel knew he still had many steps to go, but he was walking them, and that's what matters. Every single day, he woke up with a goal. Not to be perfect, not to be famous, but to be better, to learn, to help, to grow. And every night, he slept with peace. Because he knew today mattered. Today was not wasted. Today was a step forward, and tomorrow would be another. 1 year passed. Avenel stood in front of his mirror again. But this time, he saw a different person. He saw a calm face. He saw bright eyes. He saw strength. Not the strength of muscles, but the strength of heart, the strength of someone who didn't give up. He smiled and said, "We did it." Not because he reached his final goal, but because he kept his promise. He had become a new person. He now believed in discipline, in learning, in kindness, in small steps, and most of all, in himself. His family noticed, his teachers noticed, but more than anyone, he noticed. He felt proud, not proud like showing off, but proud like quiet peace. He knew who he was now. He was no longer lost. He was no longer lazy. He had direction. One day, his school invited him to speak to the younger students. At first, he felt nervous, but he remembered everything he had learned. He walked up to the front. He looked at their faces. So many faces, some smiling, some bored, some confused. He took a deep breath and said, "My name is Avenil, and 1 year ago, I was just like you." He told them his story, the phone, the laziness, the sadness, the change, the habits, the growth, the lessons, and the hope. He didn't use big words. He used real ones, true ones, words from the heart. And when he finished, the room was silent. Then came the claps and a few tears. Some students came to him later and said, "You gave me hope." Avenil just smiled. That was enough. He didn't want awards. He didn't want fame. He wanted impact, real impact. After that day, he started writing a small book, a book for young people like him, a book called One Day at a Time. He filled it with stories, quotes, habits, and advice. He wanted it to be simple, so that anyone could read it, even someone who didn't like books, even someone who didn't know English well, because he knew change doesn't come from big things. It comes from one small step, repeated every day, and he wanted to help others take that first step. A few months later, his cousin told him, "You're my hero." That made Avenil laugh, but deep down it made him grateful. He didn't feel like a hero. He still had fears. He still made mistakes, but he was trying every single day. That was the real win. Trying, growing, not stopping. He helped a friend start a YouTube channel. He helped another friend write their first story. He shared learning tips. He recorded voice notes in English to help others practice. He gave what he had, not because he was rich, but because he was rich in spirit. He knew giving makes you grow. He kept his daily habits, morning plan, evening reflection, new English words, simple workouts, gratitude list. These small things built his big life. One day, he stood on the rooftop and looked at the stars. The sky was full of them. He felt small, but also big, because he knew he was now part of something greater, a life of purpose, a life of growth, a life of meaning. He whispered, "Thank you for giving me another day." That became his prayer every night, not for more things, but for more chances. Another chance to be kind, another chance to learn, another chance to live. And he wanted others to know it too, that every day is not just a day, it is a door to a new you, a door to a better life. Avenil didn't wait for luck. He didn't wait for the world to help him. He helped himself, and that changed everything. His story was not a fairy tale. It was not easy. It was real, full of hard days, full of small wins, full of quiet courage. And that's why it matters, because you don't need to be special. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. You just need to try. One step, one word, one small act of belief. Every day. Over time, Avenil grew into a mentor. He guided younger students. He helped them find their path. He reminded them, start small, stay strong, be kind, be patient, and never forget, you are capable. He became a light in his school, a quiet leader, a silent example. And it all started with one small decision. The decision to stop wasting time, the decision to stop making excuses, the decision to stop blaming life, the decision to change. That was the spark, and the fire kept burning. Now he lives with that fire inside. And you can too. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not too weak. You are ready. Right now, you can start, you can change, you can grow, you can rise. No one is stopping you. Only you. And if you step out of your own way, you will see something amazing. You will see a better life, a better you. And one day, you'll look in the mirror like Avenel did. You'll smile and say, "We did it." Not because you reached the top, but because you never stopped climbing, because you never gave up on yourself. So today, make that promise. Say it out loud. Today is my chance to change my life. Okay. Say it again. Feel it. Believe it. Because it's true. Your journey starts now.